7. We all know about the circulatory system, but let us understand about this process a little more in detail. First, when we inhale, we take in oxygen and it enters our body through our nostrils. This oxygen then reaches the lungs through the trachea or the windpipe. The trachea then divides itself into two smaller divisions called the bronchi. The bronchi are then further divided into smaller bronchioles. These bronchioles end in grape-like air sacs called alveoli. The blood absorbs oxygen through these alveoli. When the blood is rich in oxygen, it is called oxygenated blood. The oxygenated blood reaches the heart through the pulmonary vein. The heart has four chambers: left atrium, left ventricle, right atrium, and right ventricle. The oxygenated blood from the pulmonary vein reaches the left atrium of the heart. Then it is sent to the left ventricle and then to the entire body through the arteries. The arteries branch out to form the capillaries. This is where the oxygen is distributed to every part of the cell to produce energy. When the cells are done performing their tasks, they produce carbon dioxide as a byproduct. This carbon dioxide then is collected by the veins and then sent to the heart's right atrium. Then the deoxygenated blood is passed on to the right ventricle and then to the lungs for oxygenation through the pulmonary artery. This process continues throughout our life cycle. Thank you.
Hi all, I'm Saket of grade 7. I'm going to talk about bioplastics. Bioplastic is a biodegradable material that comes from a renewable source, which can be used to reduce the problem of plastic waste that is terrorizing the entire planet and is polluting the environment. This is, in theory, one of its greatest advantages. The term bioplastic basically means a substance which derives from a plant-based material, either as a whole or as a part. Starch and cellulose are two of the most commonly used renewable sources used to make bioplastic. These typically come from corn and sugarcane respectively. Plastic is the third most commonly used petroleum derivative in the whole world. Each year, over 200 million tons of plastic are being consumed on this planet. It is contaminating as it is non-biodegradable. It can take more than 1,000 years to decompose. Thus, bioplastics is being used as an alternative. The advantages of bioplastics are they reduce carbon footprint, they do not involve the consumption of non-renewable raw materials, their production reduces the usage of non-biodegradable waste which is contaminating the environment, they do not contain additives which are harmful to our health, thus useful for storage of food. Now, let's take a look at the cycle of bioplastics. From the agricultural crops, after undergoing a certain processes, bioplastics are made. They then become biodegradable and compostable. After the usage, we can either use them to make home compost, which is again useful to grow agricultural crops, or else we can put them in the bio-waste bin, from where the bio-wastes are collected and taken to the industrial compost plant, where it is made into biogas and compost again. Now, what is the process the bioplastics undergo? Let's take a look here. First, the plant-based material such as cellulose, etc. is dried. Then, it is dissolved into liquids like lactic acid, ethanol, etc. And then, it is added to a chemical compound here such as resin, polyethylene, etc. Then, it is formed and molded into bioplastics. Here are some of the objects made by bioplastics. Other than these, scientists have invented high thermal resistant and flame resistant bioplastics. These are being used in mobile phones from 2006, in computers from 2010 and in lighting equipment from 2008. These are also being used in projectors. But yet furthermore research is being done on bioplastics to fulfill our necessities. Thank you.
Hi all, I'm Tejas of grade 7B. Today I'm going to present my DJ light to you. DJ light is a series of many 0-watt bulbs or LED lights. But I made my DJ light using only 3 LED lights. Now let's see the working of this. I'm turning on the LED lights first. I made this by using 3 LED lights, one ball to reflect, and one CD, a DC motor, a battery, and a switch. I have this box to make it a stand for it. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Kaushik. I'm going to tell about human respiratory system. It is nothing but lungs. The main organ of human respiratory is nose, nostrils, diaphragm, lungs, nasal cavity, trachea and bronchs. Our nose has two holes called nostrils. The nasal passage joins the nostrils to the trachea. Trachea is a tube which is also called as windpipe. At the upper end of trachea, there is a voice box called larynx, and the trachea branches into two smaller tubes called bronchi at the lower end. And this big branches is called bronchi, and this smaller is called bronchioles. When we breathe the air enters to nose and it enters to the nostrils, nasal cavity, larynx, trachea, bronchs, and finally reaches to the lungs. When we inhale air, lungs contract, and when we exhale air, lungs will expand. So when we inhale the air, the lungs will fill with air like this. So when we inhale, the lungs is filled with air. So when we exhale the air, the air is forced to get out from the lungs. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Shrutika from class 7. Today, I'm going to explain you about human respiratory system. The respiratory system comes into play for the disposal of liquid waste. Our bodies keep generating a lot of hazardous and unwanted liquid waste. These are toxic waste products which will circulate in our body until disposed of. And as excess water can be waste too. Our body gets rid of some of it through the respiratory system. When the blood passes through the kidneys, it gets cleaned and it separates the waste products which comes down through the ureter into the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder is a pouch-like organ which holds the urine, and then the body is ready to get rid of it. This is how the blood gets filtered from the kidneys and later forms as urine. Thank you.
Good morning, I'm Vipul. I'm studying in science standard. Today I'm going to speak about components of blood. There are 4 types of components of blood. They are red blood cells, white blood cells, platelets and plasma. The plasma is the largest part of our blood. Plasma contains water, salts and enzymes. The main role of plasma is to take nutrients and proteins to all parts of the body that need it. Cells also put their waste in plasma. This is plasma. Platelets. It is it a tiny disc-shaped piece of cell that is found in the blood and spleen. Platelets, a piece of very large cells in the bone marrow. They help the blood to clot and slow down and to help wounds heal. RB, red blood cells. One type of cells are the red blood cells, which contains a red pigment known as hemoglobin. Hemoglobin binds with oxygen and transport it to all parts of our body, which is ultimately to all parts of the cells. The presence of hemoglobin makes blood appear red. White blood cells. Also has white blood cells which fight against germs that may enter your body. They produce special kinds of proteins called antibodies, which identifies and finds pathogens invading the human body. These are red blood cells, these are platelets, these are white blood cells. Thank you.
I am Sujita of grade 7. I am going to explain about human ear. Human ear is a sense organ which helps in hearing and maintaining body balance. Human ear consists of 3 parts: outer ear, middle ear and inner ear. Now let us see about the pinna and auditory canal. Pinna. Pinna is a part which collects the sound waves and directs them into the auditory canal. Auditory canal. The airs present in the auditory canal prevent dust particles which enters. The wax which is produced in the auditory canal entangles small organisms and dust. Now let us see about the parts of the ear. First part, outer ear. Outer ear called impanum. This impanum is also called as eardrum. This impanum separates external ear from middle ear, and sound waves make impanum to vibrate. Second part, middle ear. Middle ear consists of 3 small bones: malleus, incus and stapes. Malleus bone will look like a hammer. Incus bone is just opposite to malleus bone. Stapes bone is also called as sternum. All these 3 bones are attached to each other. The vibration of impanum is transmitted by the movement of these bones. Third part, inner ear. Inner ear consists of 2 parts: upper part and lower part. Upper part is called as reticulus and lower part is called as sacculus. Reticulus consists of 3 semilunar canals and lower part has an appendage called cochlea. The function of the reticulus and sacculus is they maintain the balance of the body. The cochlea will look like the snail shell. The cochlea contains the receptor which join together to form the auditory nerve. To maintain the air pressure on the either side of the impanum, there is a tube called extension tube. From here the extension tube will start. These are the points and functions of human ear. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Saimira from Greece. I'm going to talk about symmetry. First of all, what is symmetry? The balanced proportion of a picture. It can be in size, shape, relative position of parts on opposite side of a dividing line. Mathematically, symmetry means that one shape becomes exactly like another when you move it in some way. Example, when you turn, slide or flip. So here the image is in half, so that you can't tell what that exactly is. But if I open it, you can see a plane. So right in the middle of that image, can you see the line? That is called symmetrical line, which will divide the images into half. Yes, this image is not a symmetrical image because the opposite sides are not equal. This is called asymmetrical. Thank you.
I'm Kumaresh from grade 7. Today I'm going to tell you about incubator. So, to make an incubator we need cardboard box, a 12 volt DC cooler fan,
thermostat. So mainly thermostat is used to maintain the temperature in incubator. Next I used this 12-volt DC adapter. So this adapter is used to give connection to thermostat and air cooler. And air cooler is used to give fresh air to our eggs and to separate and to spread the heat evenly to the eggs. Okay. Next I use this and air holder. So this is also used to give connections. So after this process we need to give connections like this. Can you see? We should give connections and this after placing the air cooler, thermostat and the 12-volt DC adapter, I place the bulb. So can you see this bulb? So I used this bulb to give the heat. After placing the bulb, I had made some holes to give space for fan. So this holes is helping to give more air. So after this all process, we need to set up the incubators inside process. Now I will tell you what I did inside the incubator. Thermocol will not let heat out. So this is the reason I added thermocol. So after placing thermocol, I kept a bowl of water. Can you see this? So this bowl of water is kept to give humidity to our eggs. So our eggs need humidity. Our eggs need heat and humidity to hatch up. After placing a cup of bowl, I placed some sand. So this sand is used to I had used sand because this sand will not let the eggs roll out. So for this reason only I have added sand. After that we should have some mark in our eggs. Our eggs need heat and humidity to hatch up. After placing a cup of bowl, I placed some sand. So this sand is used to I had used sand because this sand will not let the eggs roll out. So for this reason only I have added sand. After that we should have some mark in our eggs. So we should tilt our egg for at least 3 times or 5 times a day to identify the portion tilted and portion not tilted. I used some marks. So I will explain you about these 3. This is thermostat. Can you see this? This is used to maintain temperature. This is 12-volt DC adapter. This is 12-volt DC cooler fan. Now we need to set temperature in thermostat. After setting the thermostat, we should see whether it is working. Now let's see some points about incubator. So our eggs need 37.5 degree to hatch. And incubator is used for mainly to hatch a hen. So incubator is mainly used to hatch a egg without hen. Now you are very clear about incubator. The reason why I made this incubator is to save the life of those 2 pigeon eggs. So one day in my terrace, I saw those 2 pigeon eggs. First I thought that her mother would take care to hatch out. After some days, the pigeon left. So this is the reason why I made this incubator to save the life of these two pigeons. I made this incubator. Thank you.
Of 7th standard. Now I am going to tell about fractions and decimals. Fractions and decimals. Fraction. There are 3 types of fractions: proper fraction, improper fraction, mixed fraction. Proper fraction. The fraction in which the numerator is smaller than the denominator, then it is called proper fraction. Improper fraction. The fraction in which numerator is bigger than the denominator, then it is called improper fraction. Mixed fraction. The fraction which contains the whole number is called mixed fraction. For example, 3 1 by 4 or 5 1 by 6. Decimals. Decimal is a point which comes between a number. For example, 78.2, 360.5, etc. For example, 4.7 is greater than 4.2. 0.5 is greater than 0.05. Multiplication example: 0.2 into 6 is equal to 1.2. Decimal number multiplication: 2.5 into 0.4 is equal to 1.00. Thank you.
I am Riddhi from 7th standard. I am going to speak about 8 parts of speech. Verb describes an action. Example: run, walk, push, etc. Noun names a person, place, things or ideas. Example: house, teacher, cup, etc. Adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. Example: short, red, old, etc. Adverb describes a verb, an adjective or an adverb. Example: slowly, yesterday, always, etc. Pronoun replace the name of a person, place, thing or idea in a sentence. Example: I, she, our, they. Interjection express strong emotion and is often followed by an exclamatory mark. Example: oh, hey. Conjunction connect words, phrases or clauses in a sentence. Example: and, but, or. Preposition describes the place, time or direction. It is used before a noun or a pronoun. Example: under, above, in, during.
I'm Nikita of grade 7. Today I'm going to explain about stirrer. What is meant by a stirrer? Stirrer is nothing but a machine which is used to mix a substance. For example, I have a machine here. Now I'm putting this mix right in stirrer. So you can see that it's mixing the flour. Okay. Do you know why there is a spiral is forming there? Let me tell you. Because there is a magnetic pull. Magnetic pull is there. So it is forming a spiral. So I have used an acrylic board, a DC fan, a PC fan, and 2 magnets, a 12-volt adapter, and I had used a container and a steel nib so that it can form a spiral. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Akif of grade 7. Today I'm going to talk about the topic of infinite, gerund, participle. What are infinite? What are gerund? What are participle? Do you know any answer for these questions? But I have answer for these 3 questions. Let's move on to the topic. Infinite. Infinite are the verb that take the simple tense and follow the prepositions too. For example, Ramesh wants to study as soon as he gets home from school. Gerund. A gerund is a word that is created with a verb but function as a noun always ending with ing. A gerund can function as a subject complement, or direct object and indirect object. An example for gerund is cleaning your hair prevents from tangling. participle. Participles are words created from verbs that are used as adjective to modify the noun in the sentence. For example, windows were cracked when the rainstorms came through. And I finished my answers for these three questions. Thank you.
My name is Ikeshwaran. I am going to talk about data handling. Data handling is the process of ensuring that research data is stored, archived, or disposed of in a safe and secure manner during and after the conclusion of a research project. The collection, recording, and presentation of data help us organize our experiences and draw inferences from them. This includes the development of policies and procedures to manage data handled electronically as well as through non-electronic means. There are 8 types of data handling. Collecting data. We can define data collection as the process of gathering and measuring information on variables of interest in a systematic fashion that helps one to answer stated research questions, evaluate outcomes, and test hypotheses. Organization of data. Organization of data refers to the systematic arrangement of collected figures, raw data so that understand and more convenient for further statistical treatment. Values. The most common representative value of a group of data is the arithmetic mean or the mean. Arithmetic mean. The average or arithmetic mean or mean of a given data is defined as mean is equal to sum of observations, number of observations. Range. The range is the simplest measurement of the difference between values in a data set. To find the range, simply subtract the lowest value from the greatest value, ignoring the others. Mode. The mode of a data set is the number that occurs most frequently in the set. Mode of large data. The observation with the highest frequency is the mode of the data. Median. Median refers to the value which lies in the middle of the data when data is arranged in an increasing or decreasing order. Use of bar graphs with a different purpose. The goal is to show the relationship between the two axes, chance and probability. Probability is the chance of occurrence of an event. Chance, the possibility of something happening. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Krishna from Soundbeat. Now I am going to talk about Heron's fountain. Heron fountain is a hydraulic machine invented by mathematician and physicist. His name is Heron of Alexandria. He studied the pressure of air and steam, described the first steam engine, and built toys which spurt water. One of them is Heron's fountain. Now let's see how it works. First, we need to pour the water, and the water from this container will be displaced here, and the air pressure will make it. The water is coming. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Samshita. Today I am going to talk about why babies can't walk at birth. Babies can't walk at birth because their brain is not developed. It takes 1 year to develop. So, babies can walk only after 1 year. Thank you.
Use of solar oven includes cooking various dishes from the solar energy. Applications and uses of solar oven is water distillation, solar smelting, roasting coffee beans and peanuts for commercial purpose, wax melting, ironing and grain sterilization. These are the uses of solar oven. Then last topic is how do solar oven help in the environment? Solar oven benefit the environment by using clean, renewable and readily available solar energy as fuel, preserving natural resources by not requiring the use of wood or other biomass gases and fuel to cook, which pollute local environment and contribute to climate change. I hope you all got a nice information from me. I wish everyone to use solar oven for small purpose like boiling water, melting ghee and etc. Thank you.
My name is Mahesh Babu. Today I am going to talk about hologram. Holograms history. The Hungarian British physicist was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics in 1971 for his invention and development of the holographic method. Principle. It is possible to make a hologram for any type of wave. Hologram is a technique that enables a wavefront to be recorded and later reconstructed. Hologram is best known as a method of generating three-dimensional images, but is also has a wide range of other appliances. Hologram is made by superposition. A second wavefront of hologram is wavefront. It interests here by generating the interference pattern which is recorded on a physical as medium when only the second wavefront illuminates. The interference pattern is diffracted to recreate the original wavefront. Hologram can be also computer generated by modeling the two wavefronts and adding them together diagonally. The resulting digital image is then printed onto a suitable mask or film illuminated by a suitable source to reconstruct the wavefront of interest. Thank you.
My name is Pranaram. I am from grade 7. I am going to explain about neuron structure. This is a neuron structure. Neuron. Neurons, also called neurons or nervous cells, are the fundamental units of the brain and nervous system. The cells are responsible for receiving sensor input from the external world, for sending motor commands to our muscles, and for transform and replaying the electric signals at the step between parts of a neuron. Neurons vary in a size, shape and structure depending on their role and location. However, nearly all neurons have three essential parts. Cell body. An axon. Dendrite. Cell body. Also known as a the cell's body is the neuron core. The cell body carries genetic information, maintains the neuron structure, and provides energy to drive activities. Axon. An axon is a long tail like structure which joins with the cell body at the special junction called the axon. Many axons are instituted with a fat substance called menolian. Dendrite. Dendrite are fibrous roots that branch out from the cell body, like adenoids, dendrites, receive and progress signal from the axon of the other neurons. Neurons can have more than one set of dendrites, known as dendritic trees. How many they have general depends on their role. Now we are going to see about functions of neurons. Neurons send signals using action proteins, and an action protonical is a shift in the neuron's electric potential caused by the flow of ions in and out of the neural membrane. I hope you all understand about neuron structure. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Ritesh. I am studying 7th standard. I am tell about cement mixer. Concrete. Concrete a mixture. Cement and water is a concrete. Concrete a mixture. Cement and water is a essential building material widely used in modern day construction. These days, concrete is used in construction of houses, bridges, high rises, canals, roads, tunnels, and several other structures. What is a concrete mixture? Traditionally, concrete mixture were prepared manually, which consumed lot of time. Some concrete mixtures are even capable of dispensing concrete mixture directly on location of the consumption. Depending on the requirement of the application, concrete mixtures of various sizes and types are available. Portable concrete mixtures can be used in small and medium size applications. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ishwan. I'm studying 7th grade. Today my topic is escalator. Escalator is a moving staircase which helps people to move floor to floor easily. It is used in complex, shopping complex and a lot of malls. It is running on electricity and motor. It can carry many peoples. You don't have a delay except heavy traffic of people. It is connected to a chain which is connected to a wheel like this. It helps to move the staircase. Other transport, if it becomes breakdown or power loss, it is useless. But accelerator is not like that. It can also maybe used like staircase. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Lakshmi from 7th grade. Today I am going to explain about cellular respiration. Cellular respiration takes place at the level of cell. That's why it's called cellular respiration. But where inside the cell? Let's look at a cell. A cell is a bag containing tinier parts performing different functions. All of these small parts together make up a living cell. This one is mitochondria. Mitochondria is a generator of the cell. What exactly happens in the mitochondria? In the mitochondria, the food is combined with oxygen to provide carbon dioxide, water, most importantly, energy. There are two kinds of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic respiration. Breakdown of glucose occurs with the use of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. Respiration in the presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration. Food can also be breakdown without the use of oxygen is called anaerobic respiration. Respiration in the absence of oxygen. Thank you.
Hello friends, this is Lakshanraj from grade 7. We all feel more comfortable when we are wearing woolen clothes during winter. Do anyone thought how are they made? Today I am here to explain you. So we all know wool is reared from sheep. Living in Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab and many more. After the growth of wool, sheep are reared and made into yarns. They involve many processes. They are process fiber to wool. Step 1. Shearing. The fleece is removed from its body. This process is called shearing. Step 2. Sorting. Washing in tanks to remove grease, dust and dirt. Step 3. Sorting. Hair of different structures are separated. Step 4. Removing burns. Burns are picked out from the hair. Step 5. Dyeing of wool. The fibers can be dyed in various colors. Step 6. Making into yarns. Fiber combed rolled into yarns made into wool from sweaters, and the shortest fibers are spun and woven into woolen cloths. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Arni. I'm from Sanskrit. Today, I'm here to explain about human brain. So, let's start with the largest part of the brain, which is cerebrum. This whole part is cerebrum. This takes up to 85% of your brain. Due to cerebrum, you can dance, walk, play games, and run. Next comes a relatively small portion called cerebellum, which helps you to maintain your balance. Without cerebellum, you can't even stand. You would be falling all over the place. Next is brainstem. This brainstem is also called medulla oblongata. This functions are very basic functions like breathing, heartbeat, and blood pressure. This brainstem helps to meet the brain and the spinal cord. This medulla oblongata starts from this pons. I think you can see in this figure. This medulla oblongata starts from this pons and continues with the spinal cord. This is medulla oblongata over here. This extends up to 2.5 centimeter long, and this is thalamus. Thalamus means lower and deeper. So the deeper and lower parts of our brain is thalamus, and the next is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus means more than deeper than thalamus. Thalamus means deeper, and this hypothalamus means still deeper, more than thalamus. So the deepest part of our brain is hypothalamus. It's deeper. Here is thalamus and this is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, thalamus. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Shivani of grade 7A. My topic is human respiratory system. Do you know what is respiration? It is a chemical process by which oxygen burns the food we eat to produce energy for various activities. There are two types of respiration: external respiration or breathing, internal respiration or cellular respiration. There are two types of cellular respiration: aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration. Cellular respiration takes place inside the cells of organisms. When the breakdown of food occurs inside the cell with the produce of energy, it is known as cellular respiration. Aerobic respiration is the breakdown of food occurs with the use of oxygen. When the breakdown of food occurs without the use of oxygen, it is known as anaerobic respiration. Sometimes our muscles breathe anaerobically when there is a temporary deficiency of oxygen. Breathing. Breathing is the process of inhalation and exhalation of air using respiratory organs, that is lungs. Inhalation. The taking in of air rich in oxygen is known as inhalation. The giving out of air rich in carbon dioxide is known as exhalation. Breathing rate. The number of times a person breathes in a minute is called as breathing rate. A breath is one inhalation plus one exhalation. When we breathe, the air goes inside our lungs through the windpipe and the diaphragm relaxes. During exhalation, the diaphragm contracts and the air is pushed out of our lungs. How do we breathe? When we inhale, the air passes through our nostrils into the nasal cavity. From the nasal cavity, the air goes inside our lungs through the windpipe. Lungs are present in the chest cavity. A large muscular sheet called diaphragm forms the floor of the chest cavity. Mechanism of breathing. When breathing involves the movement of the ribcage and the diaphragm. When we inhale, the ribs move up and outwards and the diaphragm moves down. When we exhale, the ribs move down and inwards and the diaphragm moves up. We have a pair of lungs. There are 12 pairs of ribs that protect the mechanism of breathing. When breathing involves the movement of the ribcage and the diaphragm. When we inhale, the ribs move up and outwards and the diaphragm moves down. When we exhale, the ribs move down and inwards and the diaphragm moves up. We have a pair of lungs. There are 12 pairs of ribs that protect our lungs. The last two ribs of the rib cage are not connected at the front. They are only joined at the back. They are called floating ribs. Thank you. Hope you all like my project.
Good morning to all. I am Kavin Naresh from grade 7 here to explain about fabrication of flying balloon. First of all, let me discuss what are the required materials. A big size balloon, 250 ml of water in a bottle, 20 grams of caustic materials, foil paper. How did the balloon fly? Whether with the help of water, with the help of caustic materials, or with the help of foil paper? Obviously with the help of air. But what type of air? Hydrogen gas. Now let me explain about how to make a flying balloon. First, take a foil paper and convert it into small balls and made it submerged to water. Now add caustic materials to the water. Now cover the balloon you can see now which the hydrogen gas is elevated to the balloon. Now tie it with the thread. This hydrogen gas will elevate the balloon, but normal air will not.
Good evening to everyone. Today, as the occasion of Science Expo, I am going to speak about pinhole camera. Pinhole camera is basically a light-proof box with a pinhole in it. Unlike, it's said to be the simplest kind of camera because unlike other cameras, it doesn't use the lens. Instead of lens, it uses a pinhole. Pinhole to show the image or to capture the image. You can see these types of cameras in many solar eclipse events. They use these types of they use pinhole camera to project the solar eclipse rather than hurting our eyes by seeing directly. Basically, the pinhole camera is mainly used for observation of sun for a long period of time. Now I am going to demonstrate you how the pinhole camera works by seeing the candle light through this pinhole camera. As I see that candle light through this pinhole camera, I noticed that the candle light was inverted, of course, because of the camera obscura effect. we can see about this effect by using this example. Here the image is the balloon. Now, because of the light travels through the straight line, the light from the bottom of the image travels through the pinhole camera, reach the upper side of the image, which that we see. Then the topmost part of the image light travels through the pinhole pinhole. It reaches the bottom of the image, which we see. Thus, that is showing us the image inverted. Thank you.
Hi, I am Shailesh. I am studying 7th standard in Marg Vidhyalaya. Today I prepared a vacuum cleaner for my science expo. The material needed for the vacuum cleaner are plastic bottle, suction pipe, switch, filters, DC motor and 9-volt battery and a propeller. First, cut the bottle in cylindrical shape and keep the fan in exhaust position to DC motor, which is internally connected with wires to power supply with 9-volt battery. The switches also connected with the DC motor to power on and off. The suction pipe is also connected in the bottle tightly. Now I am going to show how it works. When I on the motor, the propeller starts spinning and it sucks the air with the dust particles. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Supriyas. I'm going to tell about plant cell. Plant cell is the basic unit of all plants. Plant cell like animal cells. Plant eukaryotic. Plant cell is building block of plants. Photosynthesis is major purpose performed by plants. Cell wall. It's located outside. It comprises protein, polycytin and cellulose. Cell membrane. It's the permeable membrane that's present within the cell wall. Cells. The vital function of a hair cells is stored in DNA or hereditary information required for cellular division, metabolism, and growth. Central volume. It occupies 30% of cellular volume, cells volume. During Matium in plant cells. Ribosome. They are the literal membrane bound organelle with the literal membrane organ which converts RNA and protein. Mitochondria. They supply energy by breaking down carbohydrate and sugar molecules. Mitochondria is also called powerhouse of the cell. Lysosome is called suicide bags. Thank you.
Good morning. I am Tiani Salaba.
Hello everyone, I'm Monica of grade 7. Today I'm here to talk about perimeter and area. Do you know why we get the word perimeter? Yeah, the word perimeter defines from a Greek word known as peri, which means around a boundary, and the word meter, which means to measure. You all know the formula of rectangle and square. Perimeter of rectangle equals to L plus B plus L plus B, which is also written as 2 into L plus B. Perimeter of square equals to S plus S plus S plus S, which is also written as S to S 4S units. Rectangle equals to L units into B units, which is also written as L into B units. Area of the square equals to S into S, which is also written as S into S into S square units. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Atish from 7th grade. Now I'm going to explain you about types of teeth and arrangement of teeth. There are 4 types of teeth: incisor, canine, premolar, molar. Incisor are chisel-shaped teeth. Teeth at the front of the mouth. Incisor are for cutting and biting the food. Canine are the larger pointed teeth. Canine are for pinching and tearing the food. Premolar. Premolar are the larger teeth. Premolar have larger flat surface. Premolar are for chewing and grinding the food. Molars. There are 6 types of molars. Molars in each jaw. Each side 3. 3 on each side. Molars are for chewing and grinding the food. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Dashil Kumar. Today I am explaining the life cycle of frog. Frog, egg. Egg it's short from the female frog. Female frog lays 100 eggs and the various size and various color. Tadpole. Tadpole it's have a first week they have a tail and second week they have a fins and third week they have auxiliary gins. Third, froglet. When the frog turns into a frog like a froglet, it has 4 limbs and the lungs. Adult frog. Adult frog came out. It looked a frog, and the cycle was continuously. Thank you.